Hi guys, welcome back to my channel where today I'm playing with the Star Wars palette from ColourPop. This is new to my collection. In the description box I can link for you a video where I'm talking about the palettes that I got over Black Fridays and holidays. I'm calling it my 2022 holiday haul. Anyway, if you're interested in seeing other palettes that are new to my collection, then just check out that video. Today I'm creating this eyeshadow look and I'm really loving how it turned out. So if you want to see what I did, then don't go anywhere. And if you've never been here before, hi there. My name is Rachel. I'm a homeschooling stay-at-home mom. I love to play with colorful eyeshadow, and so I upload several videos every week. It's always eyeshadow related content, tags, get ready with me's, tutorials, lots of eyeshadow. If you are into that sort of thing, please consider subscribing before you leave. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss new videos. And without further chatter, let's get going with this video. Hey guys, today I am playing for the first time with my Star Wars palette from ColourPop. I got this off of Poshmark for $10, and I knew that that was a really good price. I had been eyeing this palette on and off. It's not the most exciting to me, but I have heard from everyone that it is incredibly good quality, and I did really like the packaging. I'm not a Star Wars fan. Honestly, I've never actually seen the movie. I've seen parts of it, but not the whole thing in one sitting. And yet, despite that, I'm still kind of drawn in by the nostalgia of it. I think that the packaging is done really well. I think they just nailed it overall. And even though I'm not a Star Wars buff, I can appreciate when something is done well. And if the shadow quality is also excellent, well, it's just kind of a home run. I used this palette once before, not in a video. I did it myself. I was just playing with some of the more neutral tones, and these neutrals are very soft and cozy on my skin tones, as opposed to browns that would be maybe a little bit more yellowy or orange based. These are a lot more flattering for me. So I'm excited to have them, and I'm also excited to play with some of what I've heard are like the best silver shimmers that ColourPop's ever made. Today I want to dip into this shadow right here. I'd like to match my shirt a little bit, but not be too berry, because I think I've done berry a couple times lately. But I do want to pull in that marbly shade. So I've already primed my eyes using the Glam Light Icing Primer, and now we're going to zoom in and get started. I'm not entirely sure what I want to do with this look today. I think I want to start in the shade Alliance and put it everywhere, and then see what kind of color it brings me, and if I want to bring in a brown or just deepen it from there. So I'm going to take kind of a fluffier blending brush and go into Alliance. This looks to be more of a purple brown sort of matte. I'm going to start it in my outer corner, and I'm thinking this is going to be my transition shade, so I might deepen from here. But I haven't used this one yet, and I'm not sure how deep it goes, so I don't want to go in too dark right off the bat. I've been reflecting lately on my eyeshadow results and the little changes that I've been incorporating to make my looks more appealing to my own tastes as I learn and as I grow. I'm sorry, if you hear any background noise, that's my dryer. I've been actively trying lately to put the color a little bit lower in my crease. I don't like it when the color reaches my eyebrow, no matter what the color is, even if it's a transition color. If it's any kind of color, I don't want it to touch my eyebrow. Personal preference, I just don't want it to go that high. I'd like there to be a little bit of a gap. And so in order to achieve that, I need to keep my shades lower in general. So if I'm going to start with the darkest, for example, then I need to keep that dark shade pretty centered in the extreme lower part of the crease, because then when I add in a lightening buffing out shade, that of course is going to be drawn up higher. And so I need my initial deepest shade to stay low so that my buffing shade doesn't go too high. And that's been something that I have been actively working on for, several months, really, the better part of a year. Sometimes I really get it, and sometimes I don't. But it's just something that I have been trying to work at improving, because, I wear these looks all day, and I want to like them. And overall, I do like them, again, some more than others, but if I can hone my skills to a point where no matter what I do, generally I'm gonna like it, that's a good place to be. So you can see that I haven't brought that color too high. This is my transition color, so now from here, the deeper shade is just gonna stay lower. And another thing that I've been actively working on improving, if you guys watch Morgan Turner, she does this really well. She has the most beautiful cat almond sort of shape to the way that she does her shadow. And what she does is she takes her like original two blending out shades, her transition shade and then the one that's a little bit darker, and she pulls them out further into the cat eye shape, but it's not a very stark defined line. If you have been here from the beginning of my channel, you'll know that I used to take my darkest shade and I just made like a really stark line and I worked it from there, and it looked pretty bad. I mean, it just did. For those of you who have been here from the beginning, I don't know why you stuck around, but I very much appreciate you. I'm not sure that I would have watched more than 3 minutes of any of my first videos, but anyway, we learn, right? We learn and we grow and we improve, and that's what this is all about. It's the journey. So anyway, Morgan, what she does is she pulls this, exactly what I'm doing here. She takes the blending out shade and she pulls it out further into this sort of angle, into the cat eye shape. It's subtle because you're using the softest buffing shade to do it. And so it's not a really defined line. It's just a very soft wash of color that slowly peters out and tapers into nothing. And I love the way that her looks turn out. It's beautiful. So I've been doing that more lately as well. And when you do it with the lightest shade that you're using, it does create a very soft effect, but it's still there. And especially if you do an inner corner flick, but even if you don't, I really like it as opposed to a rounded blunt sort of look. And so that's another thing that I've been working on to just hone my craft a little bit more to my own tastes. It's been fun, and when I get it right, there's something about the finished eye looks that I just love. And I have to sit there and analyze, what is it that I love? Is it color contrast? Is it the shaping? Is it an inner corner flick? Is it not having brought the shades too high? What is it exactly, so that I know what I did and I can do it again? I think I am going to deepen this a little bit with a brown. I'm taking a denser and pinched blending brush from e.l.f. I'm going to grab the shade Loyalty. I'm going to keep this low, like I said, and in my outer corner. I might go into the black after this, honestly. I'm bringing Loyalty maybe halfway through my crease, but I'm not trying to blend much into that purpley matte that we used, which by the way was a very purple toned brown. Super pretty. It's just very soft. I don't want to go too neutral because if I'm ever feeling in the mood for a neutral look, I very rarely take the time to film it because neutral looks are a dime a dozen, and you can get a really good neutral look from thousands of other creators. I don't want to be the neutral person. I don't care for neutrals that often. I just really like color. So I would rather people come to my channel to get colorful looks and ideas and inspiration. And I feel like I would disappoint you guys if I gave you a neutral look, because you'd be like, oh, well, okay, how is that special? I want my channel to inspire you to be creative with color, because color is exciting to me and most of my looks are pretty colorful. So I don't usually take the time to film a neutral look. Now I'm taking the black on a small blending brush. The shade is called Star Destroyer, and I'm placing this only in the outer corner. I'm not gonna bring this one too far in. Ooh, that's a nice black. This is bringing in the contrast that I want. I've laid down a pretty neutral foundation. Now I want to bring in some depth. Another thing that I've been learning from other creators, particularly Morgan Turner, is the way that I'm holding my brushes. Now I know that if you want precision, then hold it closer to the bristles, because that's gonna give you this sort of very small space. But if you want more of a loose blend, hold it further out here and you'll get a much softer hand with a softer result as well. So especially for this sort of blending, just hold it far out and do these circular motions, and you're gonna get a way softer hand overall for your application. Just so you know, I did bring that purpley matte, what was it called? Alliance, down onto the lower lash line as well. It sort of mingled while I was blending, it sort of mingled with the darker shades, so it's kind of a conglomeration of all three of those shadows on the lower lash line in the outer half. Now I'm really curious to try this marbly shade. The one that I want to dip into is called Outer Rim. I'm going to use my finger. I find that ColourPop shimmers often apply best with the finger. I don't know how this is going to work because it's a marbled shade. When you mix it together, it turns purple, and I knew that going in. So I'm going to use my finger and apply it to most of my lid space, starting in the center. I want to see what it brings. That's pretty. I think I'll keep it in the center. I think I'll lighten up the inner corner a bit. Now I want to do the same shade, but on a flat brush and sprayed, because this is a different formula for me. I've never used the ColourPop Marbly before. This is not giving me a lot of high shine, and so I want to apply it with a sprayed brush and see how it works then. So I've got that brush and I'm placing it right on top of what I just did with my finger. Yes, it adds a little bit more shine. Now, let me be clear. ColourPop shimmers are not very high shine anyway, if you're comparing them to a lot of the newer brands that have become popular in the last year. They're probably a step above a traditional shimmer in general, with a few exceptions, but they're not incredible. So you're not going to get a fantastic see you from space sort of shine, but this is looking better having applied it with a flat brush and spraying it. So I think for this particular marbly sort of formula, this is a better way to apply it. Whereas if I wanted to grab a different shimmer, let's say, ooh, Kessel Run. I'm going to take it on my pinky and put this in my inner corner. Yeah, see? That's a regular ColourPop shimmer. It's a good one too. Ooh. That's what I expect from ColourPop shimmers applied with my finger. I expect a little bit more high shine and smooth formula. This marbly shade, I'm not saying is bad. It's just, it seems to be a different formula because it applied better with a sprayed brush, but this is nice. I'm taking a smudger brush and dipping into the berry tone, honestly. It's called Republic. I'm putting this on the center lower lash line. I don't want to bring this too far in or too close to the nose. So it's in the center, but with a heavy emphasis on the outer corner of the center. And then I'll take that same smudger brush, go back into the black just lightly, and deepen only the outer corner of the lower lash line, pressing the black into my lashes. Now I have a small flat brush, and I'm taking the shade Hyperdrive. I'll spray this as well. And I'm going to put this on my inner corner and the lower lash line up until I meet those mats I just laid down. I'm a little curious about what this shade brings. I've heard people in reviews saying that it has a bit of a green hint. Oh yeah, I could see that. Just a little bit of green. Kind of a sagey green from what I can see in my terrible 7 a.m. lighting. Looks like a sagey green. It's really subtle though, so it would still work with all the other shadows in the palette. It's pretty. Kind of wish I had a lavender waterline color, but I don't. And I think instead I'm going to use a bright blue. This is the shade Big Splash from ColourPop. I'll put that in the whole waterline and probably do a winged eyeliner. I don't know. I'll figure it out and I'll be back in a second to show you guys how the end result looks. Alright guys, here we go. Here's how the look turned out at the end. I told you already I used the shade Big Splash in my waterline. Then I took a black eyeliner and I did a wing and an inner flick, but I didn't bother lining the top lashes. I'm really liking this style. This is a good solution to get the wing without taking up too much of the lid space that's not covered by the hood. So this is a good solution if you want to try that. On my lips, I'm wearing a ColourPop lip oil in the shade Hay. This is a beautiful, like, purpley berry sort of color. And I think that's everything. I have mascara on my eyes. And then on my face, I have a little bit of this Milani blush in the shade Dolce Pink. And, ooh, for a face highlighter, I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see. I used the shade Hyperdrive from the palette. This is that shimmer that had a little bit of green in it. Hopefully you're able to see. I know my lighting is not very good. I'm sorry. But I thought that it would be a great face highlighter because it's iridescent and light and shimmery, but not too heavy and not too sparkly. I think that's everything that I'm wearing. I think the look is really, really lovely. I am impressed by the quality of these shadows. I know everybody's been saying that they're great. There's something about the tone of the browns that they picked. On my skin tones, I think that they are very flattering because they're a little bit more cool and purple-based kinds of browns. Like this look, you might not know that I used brown to achieve it. You might think I brought in some more dusty purple kinds of colors. And then paired with the two shimmers that I used, well, 3 shimmers that I used, I think the look is really beautiful. It feels quite refined to me. I'm having the same reaction to this palette that I had to the Sigma palette as far as how the mattes have performed. They just feel like very good, high quality, well formulated. There's no patchiness. They're easy to blend, they're easy to build, but aside from all of that, which you get from lots of companies, they give you such a quality payoff. I think that this just looks really refined and high quality, very flattering. That's it for the video. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I hope you found my tips helpful when I was talking about not bringing the color too high, blending out softly, all the little things that I've been picking up from other YouTubers. Maybe now and then I can consolidate for you into one video and you can gain from their wisdom and knowledge and experience as well. Thank you so much for being with me and for clicking on my channel. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember to like and subscribe before you leave and hit the notification bell. And I'll see you guys again really soon in my next video. Have a great day. Bye.